فهبني يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي، صبرت على عذابك، فكيف أصبر على فراقك؟ وهبني صبرت على حر نارك، فكيف أصبر عن النذر إلى كرامتك؟ أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك؟ فبعزتك يا سيدي ومولاي أقسم صادقا لئن تركتني ناطقا لأعذجن إليك بين أهلها ضجيج الآملين، ولأصرخن إليك صراخ المستصرخين، ولأبكين عليك بكاء الفاقدين، ولأنادينك أين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين، يا غاية آمال العارفين، يا غياث المستغيثين، يا حبيب قلوب الصادقين، ويا إله العالمين. أفتراك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سجن فيها بمخالفته، وذاق طعم عذابها بمعصيته، وحبس بين أطباقها بجرمه وجريرته، وهو يذج إليك ذجيج مؤمل لرحمتك، ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك، ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك. يا مولاي، فكيف يبقى في العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك؟ أم كيف تؤلمه النار وهو يعمل فضلك ورحمتك؟ أم كيف يحركه لهيبها وأنت تسمع صوته وترى مكانه؟ أم كيف يشتمل عليه زفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفها؟ أم كيف يتقلقل بين أطباقها وأنت تعلم صدقا؟ أم كيف تزجره زبانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربا؟ أم كيف يرجو فضلك في عتقه منها فتتركه فيها؟ هيهات ما ذلك الظن بك، ولا المعروف من فضلك، ولا مشبح لما عاملت به الموحدين من برك وإحسانك. فباليقين أقطع لولا ما حكمت به من تعذيب جاحدك، وقضيت به من إخلاد معاندك، لجعلت النار كلها بردا وسلاما، وما كان لأحد فيها مقرا ولا مقاما، لكنك تقدست أسماؤك أقسمت أن تملأها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين، وأن تخلد فيها المعاندين، وأنت جل ثناؤك قلت مبتدعا، وتتولت بالإنعام متكرما، أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يستوون. إلهي وسيدي، فأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها وبالقضية التي هتمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أجريتها، أن تهب لي في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل جرم أجرمته وكل ذنب أذنبت وكل قبيح أسررت وكل جحل عملت كتمته أو أعلنت أخفيته أو أظهرت وكل سيئة أمرت بإثباتها الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب علي من ورائهم والشاهد لما خفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفر حظي من كل خير أنزلت أو إحسان فضلت أو بر نشرت أو رزق بسطت أو ذنب تغفر أو خطأ تستر يا ربي يا ربي يا رب يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي ومالك رقي يا من بيده ناصيتي يا عليما بضري ومسكنتي يا خبيرا بفقري وفاقتي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب أسألك بحقك وقدسك وأعظم صفاتك وأسمائك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك معمورا وبخدمتك موصولا وأعمالي عندك مقبولا حتى تكون أعمالي وأورادي كلها وردا واحدا وحالي في خدمتك سرمدا يا سيدي يا من عليه مأولي يا من عليه شكوت أحوالي يا ربي يا ربي يا رب قوي على خدمتك جوارحي واشتد على العزيمة جوانحي وهب لي الجد في خشيتك والدوام في الاتصال بخدمتك حتى أسرع إليك في ميادين السابقين وأسرع إليك في المبادرين وأشتاق إلى قربك في المشتاقين وأدنو منك ذنو المخلصين وأخافك مخافة الموقنين وأجتمع في جوارك مع المؤمنين اللهم ومن أرادني بسوء فارد ومن كادني فكيد واجعلني من أحسن عبيدك نسيبا عندك وأقربهم منزلة منك وأخسهم زلفة لديك فإنه لا ينال ذلك إلا بفضلك وجد لي بجودك واعتف علي بمجدك وحفظني برحمتك واجعل لساني بذكرك لحجا وقلبي بحبك متيما ومن علي بحسن إجابتك وأقلني أثرتي واغفر زلتي، فإنك قضيت على عبادك بإبادتك وأمرتهم بدعائك وضمنت لهم الإجابة. فإليك يا ربي نسبت وجهي، وإليك يا ربي مددت يدي، فبعزتك استجب لي دعائي وبلغني مناي، ولا تقطع من فضلك الرجاء، واكفني شر الجن والإنس من أعدائي. يا سريع الرضا اغفر لمن لا يملك إلا الدعاء، فإنك فعال لما تشاء. يا من اسمه دواء وذكره شفاء وطاعته غنى، ارحم من رأس ماله الرجاء وسلاهه البكاء. يا سابغ النعم يا دافع النقم، يا نور المستوحشين في الظلام، يا عالما لا يعلم، صل على محمد وآل محمد، وافعل بي ما أنت أحلو. وصلى الله على رسوله والأئمة الميامين من آله، وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا.
Imam Muhammad Salawat. Can we please recite the Surah Fatiha for Al-Arab Al-Humeen Al-Fatiha? We invite Maulana to the minbar. Bismillah. Muhammad Imam Muhammad Salawat.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وبه نستعين وهو خير ناصر ومعين. الحمد لله الفرد العهد الصمد الذي لم يلد ولم يولد، ثم الصلاة والسلام والتحية والإكرام على سيدنا ونبينا وشفيعنا وطبيب نفوسنا وحبيب قلوبنا، الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأرضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المنتخبين المنتجبين، لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين. أما بعد، فقد قال إمامنا الهادي عليه السلام: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بموالاتكم تقبل الطاعة المفترضة، وبموالاتكم تمت الكلمة وعظمت النعمة. صلوات على محمد وآل محمد. Respected Mu'mineen, first and foremost, I would like to extend my heartiest felicitation, congratulation, and tabreek and mubarak on this special occasion where we are celebrating the birth anniversary of our 10th master, Mawla Imam al-Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. When we look at the Ziyarat Jam'a Kabira, it's an amazing asset of the Imam. And over there in that ziyarah, beautiful sentence, when we addresses the Ahlul Bayt, when we address the Ahlul Bayt, so we say, بِمَوَالَاتِكُمْ تُقْبَلُ الطَّاعَةُ الْمُفْتَرَضَةُ. O Ahlul Bayt, when we have your love in our heart, so this love effect is that it makes our ibadat worthy and precious. Because one of the, effect of the love, or one of the consequences of the love of Ahlul Bayt, today I would like to discuss the love of Ahlul Bayt in the light of Sirat of Imam al-Hadi. So when we have love of Ahlul Bayt, so it has many, consequences in our, mortal life, this dunya life, as well as the life of hereafter. So when we have the love of Ahlul Bayt, so over here Imam al-Hadi, he says, بِمَوَالَاتِكُمْ تُقْبَلُ الطَّاعَةُ الْمُفْتَرَضَةُ. That our ibadat, by having your love, it is magnified in terms of the prices, the ibadah, it get along with the love, so it get a great and amazing reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. However, whatever ibadah, whatever good deed we do, so we get ajr, we get compensation on it, no matter who is doing, good deed. So he'll get the compensation of it, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is absolutely just. But if someone have love along with the action, so his ajr and his reward is magnified. His reward is gratified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Imam says, بِمَوَالَاتِكُمْ تُقْبَلُ الطَّاعَةُ الْمُفْتَرَضَةُ وَبِمَوَالَاتِكُمْ تَمَّتِ الْكَلِمَةُ. O Ahlul Bayt, when we recite the Ziyarat of Jam'a Kabira, so we confess and we witness over there, we say, O Ahlul Bayt, by your wilayat, by your mahabbat, our kalima is completed. Without the love of Ahlul Bayt, our kalima is not completed. If we just recite La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, and we do not recite Aliyun Waliyullah, so it means our kalima, it is not completed. Kalima of Allah subhanahu, kalimatul Islam, it is completed with the wilayat, or with the love of Ahlul Bayt. And then wa'azumatin ni'mah, and the ni'mah, it is magnified. The ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, of course, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always, He descendants His mercy. But if you are, lover of Ahlul Bayt, the ni'mah which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you, it would have barakah in itself. And of course, when we look at the ayat of the Quran, there are, many ayat, those, gives this idea. For example, Surah Jinn, verse number 2, over there we say, Yahdi ila rushd. Actually, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in here, He is quoting the words of a jinnah. When Rasulullah started, guiding or recitation of the Quran, so some jinn, they heard the recitation of the Quran from Rasulullah. So when they heard, so they go back to their nation. And they say, today we heard, something so beautiful and something so amazing. After listening it, it's like we find a guidance. So this Quran, it has a guidance. It is a, wording of the jinn. And it is amazing consequences of recitation of the Quran. And that is why, if you come to the verse number 16 of same surah, over there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He says, وَأَنْ لَوْ اسْتَقَامُوا عَلَى الطَّرِيقَةِ. If these people, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the jinn, even it is, this sentence, even for the human being, that if people would remain steadfast or would remain firm on the guidance, so what happened? Allah says, لَأَسْقَيْنَاهُمْ مَاءً غَدَقًا. We would grant them abundance of the water. So what is the meaning of this? So our sixth Imam Ja'far as-Sadiq alayhi salatu wassalam, he interpreted, he says, لَوْ اسْتَقَامُوا عَلَى الطَّرِيقَةِ. When Allah said, if you remain on the right path, steadfastness, with steadfastness. So what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give you the abundance of water. So Imam says the meaning of at-tariqa over here, if someone remain on a straight path, means if someone remain steadfast on the wilayat of Ahlul Bayt, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would give him ilman kathira. Allah would give him the abundance of the knowledge. So, and this is something we have also noticed in our life, that, for example, George Jordak, he is a great writer who has written a very famous and renowned book, which name is Sawtu Adalat al-Insaniya, the voice of human justice. Very famous book, 5 volumes he has written. However, he was not a Muslim, he was not a Shia, but he had the love of Ahlul Bayt. That is why he was able to write 5 great volumes about the Amirul Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib. Recite Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. And over there he says, Ya Ali, in this book, in Muqaddimah, in preamble, he says in that book that, Ya Ali, inni lastu bi muslimin fadlan an akuna shi'iyan. Ya Ali, I am not a Muslim. Forget about the Shia. Shia, it is a higher level. I'm not even a Muslim. And still, why I'm writing this book? So he says, walakinni uhibbuk. Ya Ali, I love you. And why I love you? Lifadailik. Because you got tremendous and amazing and abundance of the fadail. That is why I love you, Ya Ali. He's not a Muslim, but he still love the Ahlul Bayt because of the fadail of Ahlul Bayt. So it means the love that we have, it has, we have 2 types of the love. Sometimes, we have a love, but we are not on the path of Ahlul Bayt. Sometimes the same love, it takes us to the path of Ahlul Bayt. So which love is required by Ahlul Bayt? Which love is required by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to mawadda toward the Ahlul Bayt? The love which leads us toward the path of Ahlul Bayt. And that is why, this path and this wilayah, it is important. However, love itself, love of Ahlul Bayt, without even choosing their path, it still has, many consequences, good consequences. But the main thing that we have to reach to the level of the wilayah, that we should be under the patronage or under the circle of the wilayah of Ahlul Bayt. And that is why, you have a lot of example of it. Someone loves Ahlul Bayt, they do not leave him like that, because Ahlul Bayt, they are just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are adil like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they compensate what they have done toward Ahlul Bayt. But if someone is on their path along the love, so it means Ahlul Bayt, they look after him even in hereafter. And that is why when it comes to the ziyarat of our 8th Imam Ali ibn Musa Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, so Imam he himself says, Manzarani, whosoever visit the grave of Imam, wajabat lahul Jannah. Jannah become wajib. So, but when Jannat is going to be wajib, so in the same narration, Imam says, Arifan bihaqqi. The condition is, if a person is visiting the grave of Imam with one condition, and the condition is to know, to understand the haqq of Imam al-Rida. So ulama, they have explained in the lives of the ahadith, what is the meaning of this haqq, what is the meaning of this right of the Imam al-Rida. Ulama, they said this right means that we should have faith that the Imam al-Rida, he is the Imam who is appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam al-Rida, he is the Imam who is, infallible Imam, ma'soom Imam. Imam al-Rida, he is the Imam who is given a knowledge by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. These are the conditions of Imama. That someone, when he is visiting the Imam al-Rida, so he must have the conditions of the Imama. So if someone visits the Imam al-Rida grave, so he will have, these effect and these consequences of the ziyarah or the love which you are expressing by visiting the grave of Imam. So Imam says that if someone visit my grave, if someone visit once, I will come to his, I will come to visit him at 3 places. in the Tata'ir al-Kutub, when the records are given to the people on the day of judgment. Some people, they are going to be given their records in their right hand, some other they are going to be given their records in their left hand. So Imam said, at the time of distribution of records, I will be there, the one who visited me. And this is number one occasion. Number two, in the Sirat, when someone is crossing the Sirat. And in the Mizan, when our records and deeds are being weighed, when they are put into the scale, at that time Imam is going to visit us. So this is the Imam al-Rada, or the consequences of visiting the ziyarat or visiting the grave of Imam in this dunya as well as in hereafter. So So that is why, because we are celebrating the anniversary of our 10th Imam Wiladat. So there is a man in the time of Imam al-Hadi whose name is Yusuf ibn Yaqub. Yusuf ibn Yaqub, he is a Christian guy. He's not even a Muslim person. So what happened in the time of Mutawakkil Abbasi, he was the Khalifa of the time. So Mutawakkil Abbasi, from his court, he sent a warning letter or impeachment letter that he has to be present into the darbar or into the palace of Mutawakkil Abbasi. So it was norm in that time, anyone is receiving impeachment letter from the Mutawakkil Abbasi, it is a dangerous thing for him. Either he has to be put into jail, or he has to be punished, or he has to be fined, for, or maybe he will receive the sentence of death. So this man, Christian man, he started shivering. That Mutawakkil Abbasi, he sent me a letter and he is asking me to be present in his court. So he could not realize what is happening and why he has called me. So he said that he himself narrated that I had a neighbor who was Shia, and he used to, praise about Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam a lot, that my Imam is ma'soom and he is divine and he appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he always solve our problem. So this guy, Christian guy, he said, I went to my neighbor and I said that your Imam, you are always praising your Imam al-Hadi, that Imam Ali al-Naqi, he is your Imam and he is always ready to support and help you. So he said, can your Imam help me also? However, I'm, not a Muslim, not a Shia. So this man, he said, yes, of course, my Imam, he is not, racist. He is not biased. Imam is Imam. Our Imam, they are like a river. Anyone can come and drink water. River does not, refuse anyone. Does not look at the color or does not look at the, faith or any other things. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, when it comes to the imamat of Prophet Ibrahim, Inni ja'iluka linnasi imama. O Ibrahim, I'm going to make you imam, not for those who are your follower, for the entire humanity. So imam is imam for entire human being. You can go and ask the support from imam. So this Yusuf, he said, his name is Yusuf. So Yusuf, he said, if I make just nazar and do your Imam understand that I made nazar? So he said, yes, Imam, he has a full control on whole universe. You just made nazar. And then he said, okay, I'm making the nazar that if I'm, I come back safely from the court of Mutawakkil Abbasi, I will pay 100 dirham. I'll make the nazar to the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. So this man, he said, I made nazar and I came to the Samarra. And when I reached Samarra, because it is very natural, he said, when I get closer, the more I'm getting closer to the palace of Mutawakkil Abbasi, the more fear I started having. He said, when I entered into Samarra, I started shivering. I said to myself, I don't know what is going to happen. Let me pay my nazar before I go to the Mutawakkil Abbasi court. So he said, I thought that let me go to the house of Imam al-Hadi in Samarra, and then I will go to the court of Mutawakkil Abbasi. So he said, but question comes in my mind that I don't know the house of Imam, how I would find the house of Imam. And if I ask from someone, because Samarra, it is famous for his spies. So there are many spies, there are many jawasis in the Samarra. So if Mutawakkil Abbasi come to know that I have some relation with the Imam al-Hadi, my problem become double, or maybe more than double. So he said that I was still thinking, and I was on my camel, and out of sudden I observed that my camel, it stops before a door or before a house, and the door of the house is open. A man comes out and he said, "Oh, Yusuf ibn Yaqub, you are welcome at the house of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam." So this man, he said, when I reached to the house of Imam al-Hadi, I was really shocked that how this man knows my name, because I'm in a place, or I'm in a town where nobody knows me. So he calls me with my own name, Yusuf ibn Yaqub. And I was thinking to go to the house of Imam. Secondly, my camel automatically, I did not drive it, so it stopped at the house of the Imam al-Hadi. So he said, I dismount from my horse or dismount from my camel, and I enter into the house of Imam al-Hadi. When I sit before Imam al-Hadi, he said, after making salam and how are you and all that, Imam said, Yusuf ibn Yaqub, why don't you pay your nazar which you made? I already made dua for you, and by my dua, inshallah, you will come back from the Mutawakkil place safely. He's not going to harm you. So Imam alayhi salatu salam, he received the amount. He said, I have paid the amount. So when this man was leaving the house of Imam, so Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, he said that he will return to his house safely, and he will come back from the Mutawakkil house safely. He will have no harm, but he will not be guided. He will not die on the madhab of Ahlul Bayt. He will remain on his religion. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him a child who will be our paramour and who will be our lover. And that is why, it has happened that later on he got a child, and this child, he was the ashiq and paramour of Ahlul Bayt. And he used to, say this word by proud and pride, Ana basharatun min basharati Mawlai Ali ibn Muhammadin al-Hadi, that I'm a glad tidings, I'm a good news which was given by my Mawla Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam. Recite Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So love of Imam, no matter you are on their path or on their religion, you are having their wilaya, but still it has, some effects, it has some consequences, positive consequences of the love of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. There is a man, also he's not from the madhab of Shia, he is Sunni guy, he's from Isfahan, his name is Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman, always he used to recite and he used to mention of his, story so many times. Historians, they have written more than 100 times he has repeated his own story with Imam al-Hadi. And people, they used to ask him, oh, Abdul Rahman, can you repeat the story about you, what had happened with you, about the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam? So this man, he used to tell. And of course, he said, when I was young, and this man is 70 years old, and always he's repeating this story, that the incident of him with the Imam al-Hadi. He said, I was young, and I had no job. I was in critical condition in terms of the finance. I was, wherever I put my hand to do any business, I used to have lost in there. So he said, some of my relatives or some of my friends, they advises me to go to the house of Mutawakkil Abbasi, to the court of Mutawakkil Abbasi. And it was the habit of the Mutawakkil Abbasi, that Mutawakkil Abbasi, every week, he used to have, like open session, or he used to open his court. Anyone wants to seek help, or anyone wants to, have complaint, he could come to Mutawakkil Abbasi, and it was a positive. However, he is a very wicked person. He is zalim, he is oppressor. But he had this positive thing. If someone has positive thing, we have to, mention it. We should not ignore it. However, every evil person, if you look at the history, every evil person, he used to have something positive. We should not, ignore his positiveness. Even the Fir'aun, One day, Prophet Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, he complained to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, Fir'aun, he is so evil man. Why you do not send adhab upon him and finish the story? Every now and then we are being harassed by him and the whole nation is being harassed. Ya Allah, why don't you send him adhab? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa, Musa, you know, Fir'aun, he has two positive, characteristics in him. One is that his place is open for every poor and every weak person. Any person, he does not put any barrier in between him and his nation. Anyone wants to come and meet him, so his doors are open. So this is the one. And the second, according to the riwayah, that his kitchen is always open. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned in the riwayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala delayed in punishing the Fir'aun for 40 years. Musa and Harun, for 40 years, they are making dua, Ya Allah, send adhab on Fir'aun. And Harun from back, he is saying, Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. But Allah was not listening to Musa and the Harun. However, there is a great reward behind the dua of Musa and the Harun. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not listen and delays the duas of both of them till 40 years. Why? Because Fir'aun, he had these two characteristics. And because his kitchen was open for throughout the year, day and night. But when his kitchen is closed, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala send his chastisement upon him. So this, giving food or feeding people, poor people, it is very important. And it has great reward and it has great protection for, everyone. Anyway, so Mutawakkil Abbasi, he had these characteristics that every week he used to open the door, open his place, and anyone wants to come and visit him. So this man, Abdul Rahman, he said that he's from Isfahan. Just imagine, from Iran, he traveled all the way to Samarra, hundreds of kilometers, maybe 1,000 kilometers. And he comes to the palace of Mutawakkil Abbasi. He said it was Thursday, and I enter and I come to know that today it is a general day for general public, so Mutawakkil can meet. And it is a day when Imam al-Hadi is supposed to meet, because every week, or narration says every week twice, Imam supposed to give, haziri, attendance into the court of Mutawakkil Abbasi, so they can make sure that the Imam al-Hadi is in the town. He did not go out. So he said there was a lot of crowd, many people, they were there. And I went there, and I was standing, in one corner, and out of sudden I heard that Ibn Rada is entering into the court of Mutawakkil Abbasi. He said, I was, shocked. I asked from people, who is Ibn Rada? Actually, Ibn Rada is a name of Imam al-Hadi. After the Imam al-Rada alayhi salatu, all the progeny of the Imam al-Rada is called Ibn Rada. Imam Muhammad Taqi is called Ibn Rada. Imam al-Hadi is called Ibn Rada. Even Imam al-Askari is called the son of Rada, Ibn Rada. And even Imam Sahib al-Asri wa Zaman Ajallahu ta'ala farajahu sharif is used to be called Ibn Rada, because Imam al-Rada, he had only one son. That's why, all Imams, they said that you should call us Ibn Rada, the son of Rada. And that is why you see there are many Sadat, those who are Taqawi Sadat. So they call themselves Radawi. There are many Sadat, those who are Naqawi Sadat. They call themselves Radawi Sadat. They attribute themselves. Anyway, Ayatollah Araki, he mentioned, he said, when I was reading these riwayat, so I was thinking that whether Imam Sahib al-Asr is called Ibn Rada or not. So he said, one day I was sleeping and I had a mukashafa, or I had a dream, because whenever you have a dream of Ahlul Bayt, so that dream, it is not a false dream. It is a true dream. So he said that I observe in my dream that Imam Zamana is standing, and the people, they are making salam upon him by calling him Assalamu alayka yabn al-Rida. So Imam al-Rida is called as a son of the Rida. Recite Allah salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Anyway, so this man, he reaches there, and he was told that the Ibn Rada, Imam al-Hadi, is about to arrive. He said, when I looked at the face of Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, he said, I did not see such a, lightful person in my life. The nur which was illuminating from his face, he said, such a nur I did not observe throughout my life. So he said, I observed that his head is bent, and he is reciting something and his lips are moving. I realized that he is a man of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, I know that who is the Imam. Now, he said, I observe that who is the Imam al-Hadi and who is Mutawakkil Abbasi. He said, I heard a lot about Mutawakkil Abbasi, fury, anger and his rage. He said, I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, he is the son of Rasulullah. Ya Allah, please protect him from the evil of Mutawakkil Abbasi. However, he came to Mutawakkil Abbasi for him to get, assistance or, support. But he made dua. He knows that Mutawakkil Abbasi is evil. He said, I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, protect the son of Rasulullah. However, he's not a Shia. So he said, I was making dua to Allah. In my heart, I suddenly observed that the Imam al-Hadi is in front of me. And he said, Oh Abdul Rahman, I am thankful for you that you made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for my protection from the evil of Mutawakkil Abbasi. Your dua is accepted by Allah and he is not going to harm me. So Imam, he said, I really shocked that how he come to know that what dua I made. And then Imam alayhi salam, he said, you made dua for me, I made 3 dua for you. Allahu Akbar. And that is why, when it comes to, when we make dua about the Imam al-Asr, when we recite Allahumma kulli waliyik kal Hujjat ibn al-Hasan. So this, question comes in our mind that why we are making dua for our Imam. He is the Imam. So he doesn't need our dua. Look at the effect of the dua. So what is the effect of the dua? When we make dua for our Imam, so our Imam in response, he makes his dua for us to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If our Imam makes dua, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala definitely 100% would accept. If Imam dua is not accepted, then whose dua is going to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So we make dua not for the sake of, not for the safety of Imam. Actually, we want our own safety. We want that Imam, if we make dua for him, Imam is going to make dua for us. So the effect of making dua for the Imam is not, the benefit is not for the Imam. The benefit reaches to ourselves. So Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, he said, you made 1 dua for me, I made 3 dua for you. Number 1, I made dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about you, that may Allah grant you abundance of wealth, number 1. Number 2, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah, give him abundance of the children. And 3rd dua I made, may Allah give you a, lengthy life. And this man, he was at the age of 70 or 80, and he is narrating this story. He said, after that, after Imam alayhi salam made dua for me, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me abundance of wealth. And then I got married, and he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given me 10 children, 10 boys. And then he said, the life you are observing that now I'm 70, 80 years old, and still I am strong. So all du'as which are made by Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam are fulfilled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he used to mention always this story about the Imam al-Hadi. So love toward the Ahlul Bayt, love toward the Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, it has a lot of consequences. That is why, this number, I was just thinking about it. This number is very important. Imam al-Rada, he said, if you visit me 1 time, I will visit you 3 times. A person whose name is Haris Hamdani. Haris Hamdani, it was the time when Imam Amirul Mu'minin, he was the caliph of that time. So he was a khalifa and he was in his house. And at the Asr time, when, it is Asr time, the heat is on peak. The Masjid al-Kufa and the house of Imam Amirul Mu'minin. So Imam Amirul Mu'minin, he get out from his house and he sits down on the door. So what happened? Haris al-Hamdani, who is a lover of the Imam, he reaches to the house of Imam. So he found that the Imam Amirul Mu'minin, he is sitting outside the house and the sun is shining on him and the heat is, coming on the face of Imam. So Haris Hamdani, he said, yeah, Imam, why you are sitting over here? Imam said, I was waiting for you. I do not want for you to come at my door and wait for me to open the door because it is too much heat. So Imam said, I can bear heat for my own self, but I cannot tolerate my follower to face the heat. So Imam Amir al-Mu'minin asked Haris Hamdani, do you have any job? What is the purpose of visiting me? So Haris Hamadani, he said, yeah, Ma'ula, I was sitting at home. And I thought that if I go and meet you in the morning, there are many people. Mawla, if I wanted to come in the evening, so I know that there are many people all around you. I wanted to meet you only because I wanted to see beautiful face of my Mawla. So Imam said, is it out of your sincerity? Is your visit, did you visit me purely and solely because you love me? He said, yes, yeah, Imam. Imam alayhi salam, he said, if you visit me only or with sincerity, I will visit you at 3 places and I will visit you at 3 occasions. And then the same occasion are mentioned what the Imam al-Rada alayhi salam has mentioned. So the love of Imam, love of Ahlul Bayt, it always has so many consequences and so many benefits in our life of dunya as well as in the life of hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, let us pray all together. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the love of Ahlul Bayt. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inculcate the mawadda and the tawalla of the Ahlul Bayt into our heart. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be on the path of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength to visit the graves of Ahlul Bayt in this dunya. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the shafa'at of Ahlul Bayt in hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect all the Muslim ummah, especially the people, those who are being suffered in Palestine and in Gaza and in different places of the world. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help those who are in bad condition, in bad financial condition. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase our risk. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from haram wealth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to nurture our children and bring our children on the path of Ahlul Bayt. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to understand the Quran and inculcate the Quran and make the Quran as a path for our life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive all our marhumeen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make their journey easy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten the reappearance of the Imam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save and give lengthy life to our maraji. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordain us among the ashab of our Imam. Wa akhiru da'wani alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa ahli baytihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. Recite aloud salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Bismillah.
Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. इमाम की शान में कसीदे के चंद बंद सलवात व मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला। दुनिया में हो गई है आमद अली नकी की, दुनिया में हो गई है आमद अली नकी की। हो मोमिनो मुबारक है ये घड़ी खुशी की, दुनिया में हो गई है आमद अली नकी की, दुनिया में हो गई है। आए अली नकी है ऐलान हो रहा है, खुश हो के ये कसीदा कुरान पढ़ रहा है। दोनों जहां में रौनक देखो है ये उसी की, दुनिया में हो गई है آمد علی نقی کی دنیا میں ہو گئی ہے، جس کو بھی دیکھنا ہے بچپن نبی کا دیکھے، یہ نور کوئی آ کے روشن نبی کا دیکھے، دیکھے کوئی تجلی نور محمدی کی دنیا میں ہو گئی ہے، حور ملک مبارک دینے کو آ رہے ہیں، سائل بھی اپنا دامن بھر بھر کے جا رہے ہیں، یثرب میں چل رہی ہے خیرات، یہ سخی کی دنیا میں ہو گئی ہے، حجت خدا کی بن کے لوگوں امام آئے، دیکھو فلک سے اونچا لے کر مقام آئے، عظمت ہے سب سے اعلیٰ اللہ کے ولی کی دنیا میں ہو گئی ہے، آمد علی نقی کی ہو مومن و مبارک، ہے یہ گھڑی خوشی کی دنیا میں ہو گئی ہے۔ افضل السلام محمد وآل محمد۔ الہی ببیمار دست بلا، جو بیمار ہوں جلد پائے شفا، الہی برائے امام زمان، ہمیں ہول میں شر سے دے تو امان، قیامت کو معشور ہو بالی، اٹھے قبر سے کہے کہ ہم یا علی، ہیں پانچوں نو جہار داتن احمد والی، زہرا و حسن شبیر سے لے تا امام زمان، شبیر سے لے تا امام زمان، فرمائے ایک پہ صلوات و سلو صلوات، صلوات و سلام، یا امام زمان فرماؤ ظہور، یا امام زمان صلوات۔
بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ السلام علیکم یا رسول اللہ، السلام علیکم یا امیر المؤمنین، السلام علیکم یا فاطمۃ الزہرا، السلام علیکم یا خدیجۃ الکبریٰ، السلام علیکم یا اصل مجتبیٰ، السلام علیکم یا ابا عبداللہ الحسین وعلی تسعۃ المعصومین من ذریتک، علی ابن حسین و محمد ابن علی و جعفر محمد و موسیٰ ابن جعفر و علی ابن موسیٰ محمد ابن علی و علی ابن محمد والحسن ابن علی والحجۃ ابن الحسن عجل اللہ فرجہ صح اللہ محجہ و ظہورہ۔ السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ۔ بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم۔ اللہم کل ولیک الحجۃ ابن الحسن صلواتک علیہ وعلی آبائہ فی هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا